Welcome, my friend. Before this story begins, pause for just one moment. Take a slow breath. There are times in life when words arrive exactly when they are needed. Not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly, like a tap on the shoulder. This story is not here to shout at you. It is here to sit beside you, to ask gentle questions, and to open a door you may have been afraid to touch. If you have felt restless, tired of repeating the same days, or quietly hoping for something different, then stay with these words. This may be the sign you have been waiting for. Change does not always begin with action. Often it begins with awareness. Life moves forward every second, yet many days feel exactly the same. Morning follows night. Tasks repeat. Thoughts loop again and again. Comfort slowly turns into a cage, but the door remains unlocked. The strange thing is that the cage feels safe. Inside it, there is familiarity. Outside it, there is uncertainty. And so, nothing moves. Not because change is impossible, but because staying feels easier than starting. The world is full of signs, but they are rarely dramatic. They do not arrive as miracles or sudden events. They appear as small feelings of discomfort, quiet dissatisfaction, or a sense that something is missing. These feelings are often ignored. They are pushed away with distraction, excuses, or promises of someday. But someday is a dangerous word. It sounds hopeful, yet it delays everything. Someday quietly steals years while pretending to be patient. Change is misunderstood. Many believe it requires confidence, courage, or perfect timing. In reality, change often begins in uncertainty. It begins when confidence is low, when fear is present, and when timing feels wrong. Waiting to feel ready is one of the greatest traps. Readiness is not a feeling that arrives. It is a result of movement. The first step creates clarity, not the other way around. Every routine, no matter how comfortable, carries a cost. It costs potential. It costs growth. It costs unseen possibilities. When days are repeated without intention, life slowly becomes quieter inside. Dreams do not disappear suddenly. They fade through neglect. They fade when curiosity is replaced by habit, and when questions are replaced by conclusions. "This is just how it is" becomes the most limiting sentence of all. The mind loves patterns. It builds them to protect, to simplify, and to save energy. But protection can become limitation. The same thoughts, the same reactions, the same choices create the same results. Expecting different outcomes without changing inputs is a silent frustration many live with daily. Awareness of this pattern is not meant to create guilt. It is meant to create choice. And choice is powerful. Fear often disguises itself as logic. It says, "Now is not the right time." It says, "What if it fails?" It says, "Better not risk what already exists." These thoughts sound reasonable, even wise. But fear rarely announces itself honestly. It prefers polite language. It prefers safety over truth. Learning to recognize this voice is part of change. Not to fight it, but to see it clearly. Small changes are often dismissed, yet they are the most effective. A single decision can shift direction. A new habit, practiced quietly, can reshape identity. Progress does not require dramatic transformation. It requires consistency. Water does not break stone through force, but through persistence. In the same way, repeated small actions slowly reshape a life. There is no universal path forward. Comparison confuses more than it helps. Another path may look faster, brighter, or easier, but it is not yours. Change is personal, even when the story is universal. It begins with honest reflection. What feels heavy? What feels unfinished? What no longer fits? These questions are uncomfortable, but they are necessary. Avoiding them does not remove their weight. Time is often blamed for lack of progress. There is no time becomes a common excuse. Yet time passes regardless of action or inaction. The difference lies in direction. 5 years will pass. The only question is whether growth will occur within them. Waiting for free time is ineffective. Time is created by priorities, not discovered by chance. Comfort zones shrink over time. What once felt exciting becomes normal. What once felt challenging becomes routine. Without intentional growth, stagnation follows. Growth does not always feel good. It stretches, challenges, and sometimes disappoints. But stagnation quietly erodes motivation and self-respect. Between the discomfort of growth and the discomfort of stagnation, one leads forward and the other leads nowhere. Language shapes reality. The words used internally matter. Saying, "I can't," builds walls. Saying, "I'm learning," builds doors. Self-talk is not just noise, it is instruction. Repeating negative narratives trains the mind to accept limits. Rewriting them slowly trains the mind to explore possibilities. This is not about pretending everything is easy. It is about allowing change to exist as an option. Change does not erase the past. It builds upon it. Every experience, including mistakes, carries information. Regret is not proof of failure. It is proof of awareness. Awareness is progress. The past cannot be edited, but it can be reinterpreted. Lessons remain available as long as reflection continues. Momentum is fragile in the beginning. Early efforts feel invisible. Results lag behind effort, creating doubt. This is where most people stop. Not because they are incapable, but because they expect immediate feedback. Growth often happens underground first, like roots before branches. Trusting this unseen phase is difficult, but necessary. There is power in starting imperfectly. Waiting for the perfect plan delays movement. Clarity improves through action. Adjustments come naturally once motion begins. Stillness provides comfort, but motion provides information. Each step, even if small, teaches something valuable. Distractions are everywhere. They offer quick comfort and temporary relief, but they also postpone clarity. Silence, though uncomfortable, allows truth to surface. In quiet moments, the mind reveals what truly matters. Avoiding silence avoids self-connection. Change often begins in moments without noise. Responsibility is misunderstood as pressure. In reality, it is freedom. Taking responsibility returns control. Blaming circumstances removes power. Not everything can be controlled, but responses can. Recognizing this difference shifts perspective. Change begins internally long before it appears externally. Growth requires patience, but not passivity. Patience supports effort. It does not replace it. Hope without action becomes wishful thinking. Action without patience becomes frustration. Balance creates progress. Small effort, repeated with patience, builds resilience. Every ending creates space for something new. Letting go is difficult because it feels like loss. But holding on to what no longer fits prevents what could. Change often requires release. Old habits, outdated beliefs, and familiar discomforts must be questioned. Not all attachments deserve permanence. Energy follows attention. Focusing on problems amplifies them. Focusing on solutions strengthens them. This does not mean ignoring reality. It means choosing where to place mental energy. Attention is limited. Investing it wisely shapes experience. Change does not ask for perfection. It asks for honesty. Honest effort. Honest reflection. Honest intention. Progress is uneven. Some days move forward, some days pause. Pausing is not failing. Quitting is. Returning after pause is strength, not weakness. The future is built quietly, not dramatically. Daily choices, repeated without applause, shape long-term outcomes. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline remains. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect in action. This story does not promise instant transformation. It offers something more realistic: direction. A reminder that movement is possible, that change does not require permission, that the sign you were waiting for may not come from outside. Sometimes, a simple realization is enough. A moment of clarity, a sentence that stays longer than expected. If something in these words feels familiar, do not ignore it. Curiosity is often the beginning of courage. This is not the end of a story. It is a pause before a choice. Nothing needs to change all at once. One thought can shift. One habit can begin. One step can be taken. And if you are still here, still reading, still listening, then maybe this is your sign to change.